Les.
I'm Anika.
And I'm Janae.
And we have a fabulous show in store for you today. This particular episode, we are celebrating the legendary Ronnie Butler. We are so excited to have him here today because we have an opportunity to sit down and talk to him about what he's been up to this past year, how he became the legend that he is, and an extra surprise. That's coming up a little later on in the show. So we want you to stay tuned. But ladies, before we get into bringing Mr. Butler out here, I want to ask you, do you have a particular Ronnie Butler song
Doesn't.
that is your favorite?
Of course.
Who doesn't?
Well, what is it? And tell me why. I want to know why it's your favorite.
I definitely love Ronnie featuring Sweet Emily. Oh, look what you do. Bring your body over here. Oh, look what you do.
I don't even think I need to ask why that's her
Run your
favorite.
fingers, run your fingers through my hair, or lack thereof.
Okay.
No, I love that song. Like, anytime you hear it, you can groove to it. Sweet Emily, I mean, another legend, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a nice song to just kind of groove to. I ain't got no hair, but I'm a groove.
Love it. What about you, Janae?
You know, age ain't nothing but a number to me.
Okay.
So I really,
Watch out
I
now.
connect with that one.
Yeah.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Okay.
But yeah, and you, Leslie, what do you?
Mine happens to be Bahama Rock, which I think is a lot of people's favorite. But it's something about that melody. The very first time I heard it, it connected to me or with me on a whole other level. To me, it just stood out. It was different. And then two, it kind of has a little bit of a sentimental value in that, you know, it was associated with a crush. Like a crush of mine and myself, we came together through that song. So that will always hold.
So y'all were
little
conch
bit of
styling. Y'all like,
special
I can
place.
see it now. Leslie's over here. He's over here. They're conch styling to
our
them in the
eyes
middle.
met across the room.
You come style to the middle.
They
we
conch
mashed the
styling
roach a little
and they
bit, too.
mashed a roach,
Yeah,
right?
we
And
did
then
all of that.
Then he stepped on her toe, and then there was
And
love.
the rest is history.
Sounds like a perfect love story to me.
You know, and I'm sure most love stories involve Ronnie in some way here, you know? Because nothing like a good, like you say, mash a roach and...
Yeah.
I love how she's making mash a roast
I
sound
know.
romantic.
I'm telling you, just turning it into
Mash
something.
the roach, light
so
a candle.
lovely.
you know, let it soak right in.
Well, anyhow.
But we
we are
definitely want to stay tuned for what's coming up next. We're sitting down with Ronnie Butler, the legend himself. And we're asking him everything. We're asking him slim or solid. I'm not going to say any more.
Yeah.
We
a whole lot more.
But keep tuned. Stay here. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to the stew. In this segment, we have the immense pleasure of sitting with a legend in BahaMian music, as well as a legend in the BahaMian community with a career that spans over 5 decades and an inductee into the Caribbean Hall of Fame. I don't know about you ladies, but I have some butterflies going on right now because the legendary Ronnie Butler is here with us. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. We're very happy to have you.
Well, it's indeed a pleasure to be here with you, lovely ladies. I love being with lovely ladies.
We love that you're
Well,
here.
Ronnie, if you don't mind, we'd like to break the ice with you.
happy to have
First,
it.
before we get into any, deep questions about, what's been going on with you,
Yes.
we just want to ask you some simple questions.
Quite.
Tell us which one is your favorite. We call this rapid fire.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead.
All right, so Exuma or Long Island?
Exuma.
Yes, I knew it.
Okay. Kalik or Heineken?
Neither.
Boiled fish or stew fish?
Stew.
Yes.
Me too.
Slim or solid?
Solid.
I ain't happy about that one.
Okay. Boxing Day Junkanoo or New Year's Day Junkanoo?
New Year's Day Junkanoo.
Very nice. Tropical conch salad or old fashioned?
Old fashioned.
Yes, you are officially my favorite. I am a little upset about that slim or solid question.
I
though.
can't help myself.
But now we know more about you, Ronnie, and we thank you for that.
Oh, no question, no problem.
Now, you've been singing, I saw that you were singing since you were like 16.
17.
17. What was that like when you first fell in love with music?
Well, I grew up in church, singing in church like most Bahamians, and I always liked it, but I didn't dream that I would be doing it as a profession, and so it was sort of like I glided into it because I did masonry. Oh, wow. I was doing masonry when I was 16, 17, and we were out of work, and a friend of mine had a guitar, a Hawaiian guitar, and we used to practice every evening, and then he got a drummer with him, and then the three of us would practice. And then he said he had a job. I was still doing masonry, but he got this job at a place called the Carlton House. It used to be on East Street between Shirley and Bay, across from where the police station is now. And we played there from 7 to 10. And the money I made during that 7 to 10 was the money that I could keep, because at that back then, and you are 16 and 15, 16, 17, and you working and you carry home that money, you don't open the envelope, you got to carry that home.
Right.
But this extra money was mine.
Okay.
And so I was able to buy my little knickknacks, things that I wanted to. And the first thing I did was buy a little guitar.
Nice.
But working with these two guys at the Carlton House, the drummer was the guy that did the singing. I started shaking the maracas.
Right.
So that it was a trio like that. And I loved to hear this guy. He was such a good singer. His name is Natty. He's blind now. He's still alive. But I started trying to sing the Bahamian songs like he was singing, because I used to be singing along with the jukebox before that in a restaurant on Mount Royal Avenue called King Guest House. But they were all, there weren't no Bahamian songs being played on jukeboxes and stuff like that. It was all American songs, and Nat King Cole and Roy Hamilton and those guys. And so I used to sing along with them on the jukebox. But listening to him singing these Bahamian songs, Marianne, all day, all night, Marianne, and brown skin gal, go home and mind baby, all that type of thing. And so I really got into it. And then we got a job at a place called the Buena Vista. But now this job was like from 7 until 1. But it was paying more than I made at masonry and this other little gig, you see. So I told my mom, I said, look, I'm going to put down the tools. And she said, well, you got my blessing. And that's all I needed. And from there on, I started, okay, that's how I really got into the business and all of that.
Yeah.
So what was the highlight of your career, you'd say?
The highlight of my career was performing in the Apollo Theater in New York.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that experience.
Mainly because, all the greats, performed on that stage. And to be there performing to a packed house, with the band that Fred Ferguson leads called Tingham Dem. This was about 10 years ago. That was really the crowning glory, I call it.
Nice.
What do you remember from the very first time you performed? The very first time you hopped up on stage and stood in front of an audience?
To tell you the truth, I can't remember. I can't remember. Because when I first started with these guys at the Carlton House, it was standing on the floor in a little bar, and it wasn't like you were, performing to hundreds or thousands of people. You were just standing there playing the music, and the people were sitting around, maybe 15, 20, because the hotel wasn't that big.
Right.
So, it wasn't that many, there weren't that many people. So it wasn't like you were up here like a big time star and looking down at the crowd,
And what about your fans? At what point did you realize that you were making an impact with your Bahamian community, and especially with the ladies? I want that question to be part 2.
I worked with the three of us. We worked together for another 6 months, and then the job came to an end at the Buena Vista. And then I started working with King Eric Gibson, and we were called King Eric and his Knights.
Right.
We played at a place called the Captain Kids, which is right around the corner from the British Colonial, just before you get to that place where where Flowers got that statue of me. That hotel right on the corner there. It was right in that area, and we played there for a while. Then we went to a place called the Bahama on Bay Street.
Okay.
And that was on Frederick and Bay, actually. And that's when we started getting a lot of, people started noticing me as someone singing. And they were mostly white Bahamians, to be honest with you, and tourists. Because at that time, Bahamians, us black Bahamians never used to go out that much to places like that. We stayed mostly over the hill. So we got to be very popular with King Eric and his Knights. And of course, with the popularity came the females.
The solid females.
Of course.
Yeah, tell us about that. You're known as being a ladies' man.
And the taller ones, too.
Yeah.
So I'm short and skinny. I do not stand a chance, apparently.
Well, there's all shapes and sizes. I tell you. In those days,
discrimination here.
in those days, it was any port for a storm. Okay? So but that's I worked with Eric until 1962, and then I started my own group called Ronnie and the Ramblers, and I started working at a place called the Big Bamboo, which was on the corner of Bay Street, East Street and Bay Street, but it was underground. You had to go down under there.
Yeah.
I think you might know of that place
Yep.
nowadays. But at that time, it was called the Big Bamboo.
Okay.
And we played there, Ronnie and the Ramblers, we played there for till 1960, from 62 to 67. Wow. And then we left from there and went on. But trust me when I tell you,
You got some stories in there?
it'll take me about 10 years to tell you all the stories, yeah.
Speaking of stories, one of your songs that stood out to me was "Who Put the Pepper in the Vaseline?"
Oh, yeah.
Right? Very controversial song.
Indeed.
Why?
Well, you know what? It's one of those songs when you
It
first
happened.
hear it, though,
It happened.
you don't really think about it until you listen to it over and over again, and you're like, wait a minute.
No, I want you to tell me about that song
Yeah.
and when you wrote it, when you sung it for the first time. Tell us a little more about.
Or even how
Who
it
Put
came
the Pepper
about.
in the Vaseline?
How far do you want to?
Well,
Go
let me see if I could dress this up. Where I, of course, at that time, there were, just like today, we have the gay community and stuff like that, the gay people, and we weren't, we were still backwards. We were still backwards at the time. We looked down on these people. I would suppose some people still do. I don't. Because I figure whoever's God made us all, and I care, who am I? But anyway, this one guy that used to frequent the Big Bamboo, and he used to come in with his friend, and one night he got half tight. He's sitting on the bar, he got half tight, And he said to me, because I got to know them, through talk, and they used to frequent the bar all the time. So you get to know people, and then as you get to know a person, these feelings, these thoughts start to dwindle.
Right.
Yeah, you see them more as a person, not
Yeah.
someone to detest or something. So
Yeah.
he said that he had a problem because somebody put pepper in his vaseline.
Wow.
A couple of days ago. This was like a weekend, right? And this
Yeah.
happened, whatever happened like 3 or 4 days ago.
my.
So I said, and I said to him, I said, you know what? His name was Cecil. I said, and I called him Cease, I said, Cease, I can write a song with that.
I was just about to ask you if he ever knew
Yeah,
that
oh
he
yeah,
became
yeah,
the
he knew.
subject of one of his
Yeah, so that's how that
most
came
memorable
about.
songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
What an incredible story. Thank you for clearing that up.
So, Ronnie, you've been really busy lately.
Yes.
You've been doing commercials. You're still writing songs, performing.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What are you up to now?
As far as writing songs, I still have about 60 or 70 of those that I haven't even put music to yet. But I'm in the recording studio now. I'm doing some stuff with Eddie Minnis. He's doing an album, and I've worked with him for almost 50 years. Everything that he's done, I've been a part of. Me and my band, and personally, I am in the process of. I have 3 songs that I'm working on. My songs.
Okay.
One semi old time gospel song, but the other 2 songs are. Well, when you hear one of them, you'll recognize a name.
Okay.
A name. You'll recognize a name.
Before we head out, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Who is it?
I think it's a secret, Janae.
Thank you.
Well, we could try. Girl, we could try.
One last question for you, though.
Sure.
Who haven't you worked with? Who you still have the desire to create magic with?
Yeah.
You're talking about Bahamians, I take it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've actually worked with a number of most of the entertainers, but no, there's nobody that I really particularly care to think about working with at this point in my life. No.
Yeah.
No.
Because you've done it
Yeah,
all at this
Yeah.
point, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. pretty
And
much.
that's what legends do. They work
much.
with so many fantastic artists.
I tell you what I would like to do more of, and I think you guys are going to be working on, speaking on that.
Okay.
I would like to do more of working with the younger, up and coming
Yes. Yes.
musicians and entertainers, because I'll tell you something. When I said I work with King Eric, Eric gave me the opportunity to be able to be a band leader. He would leave me in charge of the band and go away for 2 weeks. And that meant I had to deal with management as well as the musicians in the band. So he passed it on to me. I passed it on to Ira Starr, the Spank Band.
Yeah.
And Ira Starr is passing it on, I know, because I've seen.
Yeah.
He's passing it on to some other young people. But I would like to do more of that if the opportunity arises.
Right.
I would like to work with some more young people to, and tell them how and not to be, and stay away from the alcohol and the drugs and all that sort of thing.
Well, you know what, Ronnie, we would love to hear so much more, but we've got to take a quick break. But stay tuned. When we come back, more with Ronnie Butler and BahaMian Trae. See you after the break.
Happy Friday indeed. Welcome back to the stew. We are sitting with legendary Mr. Ronnie Butler. We got a chance to chat about his music in the Bahamas, the impact he's made on our culture, and most importantly, working with young Bahamians within the music industry. Recently, Mr. Ronnie Butler has worked with BahaMian Trae, who happens to be a personal fave of mine, on a whole new hit song. We have BahaMian Trae here in studio, and he's coming out right now. Trae, get out here!
Hello.
Get out here!
Talking, buddy. Good to see you.
Good morning! So good to have you.
Nice to be here. Welcome.
Brand new phone, can't find that time now.
Good morning!
Good morning.
Happy Friday!
Morning.
Happy Friday to you too, and y'all look really nice.
Well,
today.
thanks. Let's start with
very
the
nice.
slim or solid.
Y'all trying to set me up too.
Yeah, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it,
All
Trae.
Now, Trae, thank you so much again for taking the time to be with us.
Yes, ma'am.
I fell in love with your music when you came out with You Can't Muggle Like Me. You can't muggle on the beat. I see you bringing out the junglist in me this morning. And I'm sure that Bahamians loved it. I've heard it on the radio a million times. And we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Especially being so young and writing great music that everyone wants to listen to.
Yes, ma'am.
But the most I think we've enjoyed is hearing that song with you and Mr. Ronnie
The
Butler.
legend.
I mean, a legend.
Yes.
Wow.
Please tell me how you got the hookup, and then give me the hookup too for when I start my music career.
Well, Charlie and Reality are great friends with Mr. Butler, and when they made the song, and Charlie wrote the hook, and he said it has that Bahamian feel to it,
Yeah.
and no other person other than could have fit that, that void for the hook. So it was really
Very nice.
He has this look on his face like, really? Just tell us when they approached you about the song and when they told you about the song.
Well, like you just said, Reality and I call him the bishop. I call him that because he and I always discuss in scripture. Brother Brown, they both came to my home and spoke to me and had me listen to what they had done and what they were doing. And right away I said, okay, yes, I'm down with that.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
yeah. And these kids are so good. I mean, BahaMian Trae. Look here.
Yes, sir.
And we had a little thing. We did the thing on a concert at
Yes, sir.
Arawaki
for the first time.
Oh, so tell us about that.
That was a great experience because it was just so fun because it's a fun song and just being on stage with Mr. Butler, the legend, the Godfather. It was just it was just
So
an
be
over.
real. Did you geek out when you got the opportunity the first time to meet him?
What? That was
What's one of your favorite Ronnie Butler songs?
reserve a place for me. That
Okay.
always.
You have to
Serve a
sing
place
peace.
for me. Is that
You
right?
have to sing a piece.
I'm ready to
Ooh,
hear some
reserve
of
a
this
place
now.
for me in
In
your
my
heart.
Oh,
You
yes.
got me.
It sort of has that Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me over here getting my little.
Yeah.
So, Trae, what we want you to do now, if you guys don't mind, and Mr. Butler, we want you to sing a little bit of your new hit song
All right.
so that everyone could hear it.
All right.
Give us a little 1, 2. You want me
Just
to
a
cue you
little
in?
taste, yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Brand new phone, can't find that time now. I just buy that. Oh Lord, brand new television, new Jordans, gone missing. This boy done sell my things. Cash for go got all my chains. Leave your things around him, that's a loss. He'll thief the Lord off the cross. My gal can't find her rings. But don't lie, but I know it's you, King. He just come out of jail last weekend. But he done been all over being. This boy done snort 3 lines. Make the punch like 15 times. No job, he rob instead. Dingy good for nothing with he picky yet. Real talking, things so tough. Then thief up all my stuff. When they catch me done for good, hold on, I think he has something in the bush.
I ain't saying the boy does teeth. I just saying don't drop sleep. I ain't saying the boy is fast. I just telling you what your ask me about that.
Love it. That
Bravo! Now, Trae, you're so young. Please tell us,
Yes.
why did you decide music I mean, do you decide your passion? But I mean, yeah, tell us.
Well, I got a knack for music when I was 14. Like, because everybody just, like, music is just cling to you. And it really clinged to me. And after I really got interested in it, I started practicing it and writing and stuff. And then I went to one party and then
That was everything.
And then
Thank you so much. Thank you so much both for coming on The Stew. We hope you enjoyed your time here. Les?
Yeah. It's been awesome.
It's been great.
I wish we could have you stay longer and we can sing more songs together so we can dance in the studio. But no, we gotta go. But we thank you both for being here very much. We thank you for watching. This is The Stew. Be sure to check us again next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on Channel 224 at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Have a great weekend. Bye.
This is a serious fella, man. Don't sleep on him.
I ain't gonna sleep on him.
Seriously, don't sleep on this boy.
Yes, sir.
He ain't got no heart at all. And they say teeth from teeth, God smile. I believe.
My mommy tell me that
I
before.
think he believe in that.
brand new phone, can't find that time now. I just buy that. Oh Lord, brand new television, new Jordans, gone missing. This boy then sell my things. Cash for gold, got all my chains. Leave your things, shine them not so lost. He'll thief the Lord off the cross. My gal can't find her rings. But don't lie, but you know it's you, king. He just come out of jail last weekend. But he done been all over being. This boy then snort 3 lines. Make the punch like 15 times.